Hello and welcome. Now, continuing on with my Codex entry mini-series that I have been doing this past week, I've decided to work on another very highly requested and one of the most interesting yet vague, I think, enemies, let's just call them enemies, within Doom Eternal. And that is the demonic MAW that we can see in the first mission of the Ancient Gods Part 1 in the level UAC Atlantica. So without further delay, let's get knee-deep into this. After the destruction of the Argent Tower, a thorough investigation was conducted on the cultists' division within the UAC. Led by a board member, Dr. Elliot Swan, the investigation discovered that for Tier 3 advocates, which was the highest attainable rank by a member, they would be given the quote-unquote privilege of going to the realm of hell, specifically to the Umbral Planes. This was a one-way trip, and the Chosen were fully aware of this. In fact, psychological profiles indicate that these individuals were excited to sacrifice their lives for this cause. They would be taken to the blood pools of Angrax, where a massive demonic maw named the Bukavak exists. The Bukavak would then strangle the life out of them and rip them limb by limb using its tentacle-like hands. All the while, the cultists were said to be laughing in their final moments, after which the Bukavak would then devour the remains of its victims. Eventually, the demon grew quite large, and the researchers were able to take biomass samples and return to the UAC for study. The research described that the maw acts as a sort of hell growth, a bacteria-like organism that flourishes near warmer climates or locations. It grows larger the more biomass it is fed. Further research was conducted, and it was found that biosamples from the original host have a chance of growing into their own individual demonic maws, although these spawns are non-sentient and are constantly hungry for flesh. There are currently two known locations of these demonic maws. The first one is located in an area now known as the Super Gore Nest. The other is located just outside of the safe radius from a remote underwater UAC facility, codenamed UAC Atlantica. Reports indicate that this demonic maw was planted on the ocean floor quite a long time ago. It was then fed regularly, and it eventually grew significantly large. Its tentacles grew long enough to grab unsuspecting ships on the ocean surface and devour any personnel inside. In order to keep the UAC Atlantica facility and its neighboring demonic maw hidden from sensors and prying eyes, the facility was constructed in a very unstable region on the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean. This area was codenamed the Devil's Triangle, which is derived from its original name, the Bermuda Triangle. And that's all I have for this video. If you want to see more, make sure to click on the playlist in the middle of your screen. If you want to see my latest uploads, click on the top left. And finally, if you want to let YouTube's algorithm decide, click on the top right. And as always, I will see you in the next video.